Okay. All right. Today I'm here with Brennan Green, another fellow Michigan State student.
Hello,
Uh,
hello. Thank you for having me.
we are going to be talking about uh, the culture of tailgating at MSU and a little bit about that. So, Brennan, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood and where you grew up first?
So I was born in West Branch, Michigan. We owned a farm there and would be on the farm. It was a small town, so we would be on the farm and have the whole family or some of the town come over, hang out. I remember when I was little, we would always have a lot of people over for like we would call them rock band parties, and we would all every at least once a year, me and my family would go tailgating. And then I moved to Rochester in like first grade, and we continued the tailgating trend or tradition, and it like eventually caused me to want to go to. That's probably not the only reason, but definitely an influence on me going to state and picking Michigan State as my college, and just enjoying the people and the culture of Michigan State.
Okay. So would you say that's your biggest connection to MSU, or did anyone else in your family go to MSU?
Well, my dad went to MSU and got his master's at MSU. My stepdad went to MSU, and I've been raised as a Michigan State fan my whole life. I've always been watching the football games or basketball, March Madness. Uh, Always been going to tailgates. I've been raised in Spartan my whole life. My last name's Green, so and we would always say we bleed green because like we're Spartans and our last name. And so I've just been raised being a Michigan State fan my whole life, repping Michigan State, not in liking Michigan as a team, like that says. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Um, are these the main reasons you chose to come to MSU? Like just because you were like grew up around it?
Uh, I would say like definitely my parents being like going to Michigan State piqued my interest in the beginning because like I always envied my parents or my dad and wanting to go to Michigan State, wanting to be like them and do the same stuff definitely was a motivator. And like ever since I was little, I wanted to go to Michigan State just because my parents had put it in my mind and it was their college and I wanted it to be my college and hearing about all the amazing stories they had, me wanting to remake those stories or make my own. Definitely. And as I got older, like high school, I wanted to go into business, and Michigan State has a good business school. And my dad went to Michigan State for supply chain. And I wanted to do something similar, more like sales, but supply chain. And so Michigan State has a good business school and a good supply chain uh, class. So that was like another motivator. It's because it had stuff that I wanted to do over the other colleges, and it's a D1 Big Ten school. Obviously, everyone wants to go to a D1 Big Ten school, um, and being able to rep the college team that I had supported my whole life, I'd always watched, definitely meant a lot. And like getting in was definitely like it was my number one college that I wanted to go to, and getting into my other colleges and then getting into Michigan State made me realize like how much more I valued Michigan State than the other ones because I was just 10 times more excited that I got in or like 10 times more enthusiastic or like more passion towards getting into Michigan State and wanting to go to Michigan State.
Okay. So getting into tailgating, what was your first memory of tailgating with your family?
Well, hmm, I've been tailgating my whole life since I was like 2, and there were definitely times that we went that like I don't remember or I don't have like vivid memories of, but I just remember all throughout growing up and tailgating, my family and all of their college buddies from Michigan State that they like roomed with or hung out with or whatever, they every year we would get the same spot tailgating. We would get the same like area, and that that was a tradition, is to get the exact same spot and have this like same 12 families just like take over that spot almost, and we would all play like football. The parents would have a good time, whatever. And mm, I just remember being like little and like having fun with all of my parents' friends, kids, and like we all were little, going growing up, taking pictures with Sparty as he was walking by, seeing the football players walk by, and being like so little, thinking that they're like massive, like big human beings. And I remember just like enjoying being there, like the presence of being at the tailgate and rooting for Michigan State, and everyone else around me is rooting for Michigan State. So we're all supporting the same thing, and it's just a good feeling to have.
Yeah. So when you were a child, could you see yourself like in 15, 10 years doing that? Like going to that school and being like a part of actually like
I
tailgate?
definitely like hoped, I definitely
Mm.
wanted it. Like, yeah, so yeah, I could see it 100%. I hoped for it and I wanted it to happen. I enjoyed doing it and I wanted to be more part of like the Michigan State culture, because like going in as a kid, I was like kind of like an outsider, I guess, like I wasn't like a student or
Yeah.
like an alumni that knows their way around. So I didn't know anything. So everything was new to me. Like all of East Lansing was new. All of the campus was new to me. Seeing the stadium was new, and it definitely made me want to do it more. Definitely.
Okay. Would you consider like tailgating, like growing up, like a tradition for your family?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's still an ongoing
Mhm.
tradition. Like we all try to go at least once a year, if it's the Michigan State game, or if it's like Michigan State, like just a random game versus Rutgers or whoever. Like we all try, like, and when I say we all, I mean like my family, now that we're all grown up, and the other families that would go with us. We all try to like schedule it all to like so we can go to the same tailgate, or we can at least see each other. And yeah, like to this day, there's like a big group chat of everyone when we try to make plans of like what tailgate would work the best, what home game would work the best. Or if like some people are going to this one but others are going to this one, maybe we do two, or whatever you can. We at least try to go once a year minimum, no matter what. And I would say that's like a tradition.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um, what's your favorite part about tailgating, would you say?
Favorite part?
Yeah.
Uh I would say my favorite part, like all of it's fun. I would say, oh, because it might depend on like the year. Like if you go to a game, like most of the times you don't even go to a game, but if you do, it's kind of like an extra like fun thing to do after the tailgate.
Hmm.
And but I would say the favorite part is like everyone socializing, everyone enjoying each other's presence and getting to know people, and just everyone having the same common goal to root for Michigan State or to want Michigan State to win. And like socializing, have been on like the same page with everyone. Everyone agrees. No one's been like enemies unless you see someone that's like rooting for the other team, which I actually find is like a good thing too, because it's like go green, and the other person would like boo you or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like everyone's there for the like same reason, the same passion for their football team or for their basketball team or whatever it is, and like it brings everyone together to a common thing, which is good. And I think that's very rare nowadays, that like everyone agrees and everyone is like looking at the same goal or the same thing.
Okay, okay. Uh, how do you picture tailgating food? What's that like?
Walking tacos, like easy stuff, easy stuff. Walking
Mhm.
tacos, burgers, brats, hot dogs. Uh,
So just like a lot of barbecue stuff. Just like
barbecue stuff, yeah. Finger food, like it's like every, kind of like a barbecue. Like everyone brings a dish or brings a plate
yeah.
or something, or they'll be like the dessert section was like cookies, brownies, cupcakes, and then there's like the food was like burgers, brats, hot dogs, like ground beef to make a walking taco or to make tacos, or anything. Like it's a variety of a lot, but definitely like finger food, barbecue food, like things that are light to go with the drinking, definitely too,
Mm,
or like definitely a like I guess that's not food, but a part of tailgating is drinking, and
mm,
so there would always be coolers full of like drinks for the kids, waters, and then alcohol. Um, what else kind of food? Like at the game kind of food, like stadium food, you know.
mm,
Um, yeah, like little finger foods, stuff like that. The American cuisine, I would
mm,
say.
yeah. Okay. What about the games? What do people what else do people do at they play any games like that? Cornhole, I think I see, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
cornhole. Yeah, okay. Uh, cornhole, the ladder ball game.
Yeah, yeah, where you throw the yeah.
They're like connected.
Uh-huh.
Now a lot of spike ball, a lot of
Yeah,
spike ball.
yeah, spike balls
Uh,
popular.
football, like just tossing the football around, getting like 10 kids and doing like a 5v5 football. We
Mhm.
would always have like an area. That was every year. Um, you see just like out a lot of outdoor games. Like you see people throwing frisbees or doing whatever they like, hitting a baseball around, throwing a baseball.
Yeah, 'cause, they always be closing down roads and streets and
And
all.
people play in the streets.
Oh, yeah, people are walking everywhere. I mean, it's literally like it's like a festival, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, there's food, games, I mean, there's, like, everything, people, but
Yeah, socializing.
yeah. How would you compare tailgating as a child to tailgating now at MSU?
Um, I remember tailgating as a kid. We would always get up so early. Like we would leave our house at like 5:30 a.m. and get to the tailgate by like 7, and we'd have to wait in line for parking. And now it's parking passes. We used to have to, like it used to be first come first serve, and now it's you gotta buy the parking passes,
Mhm.
and that makes it a little less inclusive to like alumni because students like us are able to get parking passes for cheaper, and parking passes are expensive. And I'm guessing it probably was expensive to just like drive up and find a parking spot. You're probably paying relatively the same rate, but it's just the fact that like now you have to go online on like Monday at 8 a.m. and get the actual parking pass for a certain area rather than like get there first and have all 12 of our families meet at one area to park, like it just makes it harder for this like for us to keep the tradition going, as in like having everyone in the same place. um it's definitely different now that I'm a student. And like I was saying earlier, when I was a kid, I kind of felt like an outsider. Like I would see all the big kids walking around, having a good time or whatever. And now I am one of the big kids walking around, and I see the little kids walking around. And I would say it's a lot. It's not better or worse, but it's just different being like a student. And that's kind of what I wanted. Like that's kind of what I envied when I was little, is to be like one of the kids and be going to Michigan State and like so cool, like living here, blah 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 blah. And I uh I think it's pretty different in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's any better or worse. Like I don't think one's better than the other. And when I was a kid, not being a like a student, made it feel very surreal, made it feel like kind of almost fake, like a fever dream. And uh like just because it was unknown territory, unknown area. And now to me it's like my home for the next few years. Like I am very familiar with all the areas. I walk this campus every day. I go to the same classes every day. Like I know the area, and it's nothing new, and it's almost like it's kind of becoming uh not complacent, but like it's regular now. It's not as much of like a surreal feeling. Like I remember it was like a vacation almost. Like how when you're on vacation, you're there, it feels like surreal, and then you come, or like it feels awesome, and then when you come back it felt like surreal, like it didn't even happen, or like it just flew by. And now it just feels more normal, more day-to-day life. And like now I can go to a lot more myself. But like now, like a big difference is I go to like every home game tailgate, right? But not with my family. Like mostly my friends
Yeah.
or like my peers. Like we all go to tailgates. And like yeah, we'll still keep the tradition of like everyone coming once a year. Like all everyone and all my family's coming for the Michigan State tailgate coming up this week. And like we're still keeping that tradition going. And that way that it's the same, but it's different because I'm here by myself, like tailgating with my friends and my peers, and doing, like I said earlier, kind of making my own stories and my own memories that I kind of envied of my dad and their friends when they were just like talking about their old memories, or back in their heyday when they went to Michigan State.
Mm.
It's cool going from being like a little kid envying it to doing it now, and then it'll be cool to see my stories after too.
Mm.
Like it'll be different, definitely, but I don't think it changes for the better or worse.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you think did you actually go to the games a lot, like as a child, or did you just tailgate?
Uh, I would say we tailgated more than went to the games, but I have a lot of like vivid memories of being at the games. Like I remember one time after the tailgate, it was like a very trash, rainy game day, so we weren't staying in the game for a while. And to like entertain us and not get wet from the rain, is we were running up and down the levels of the stadium just cause we could. And I was like a little kid, and it was like the biggest thing ever. The stadium is massive. It's like just like so we would go to the games, but definitely not. It's not like a needed part of the tailgating. The tailgating is like the enjoyment before the game, and then I feel like the game is kind of the come down, like the chill. Okay, we'll see what happens, and depending on if they win or lose, depends on if you party more after or not.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people just stay tailgating like during the game, set up camp with a
Set up a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that? Like just stay tailgating while the game's going on, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. And like we weren't the family that would bring the TV,
Mhm.
but at that point, it's like a lot of tailgaters are into the game now. So the people that are still out there are like coming together closer now. So then we would join someone else's tailgate that has a
Mhm.
TV, and all the parents would do the same thing about their stories and hang out and blah blah blah. And all the kids would hang out and watch the games. I remember being like a kid and not having the attention span to actually watch the game. So, but I remember it being there and having the opportunity to, but I was like 5 years old. I couldn't stay in one place.
Mm.
But I was so yeah, like going to the game isn't necessary to tailgating. It's definitely a part of it. And whoever like you do you like everyone else has different tailgating experiences, but I think it's not needed, but it definitely is like a good part of it.
Gotcha. Um, what what do you think makes a tailgate at MSU? What does it need to have, do you think?
The people, the energy, like the enthusiasm of
Mm,
of people wanting their football team to win.
mhm,
Alcohol is a big part. Everyone is
mhm,
drinking alcohol, having a good time. The drinks are flowing, so conversation is flowing. Uh, Definitely food, like the grill food and the American like hand finger food. That's definitely a big part of it because I mean, it's I think food at any occasion is a big part of the occasion, kind of.
oh, yeah.
And that might just be because I like food, but um, hmm. Your question was what's needed, right?
Yeah. What makes a tailgate?
Yeah, I would stick with like people, the people and how everyone interacts, how everyone has a common goal, a common thing to root for. It brings everyone together, kind of gives it a home feel, like a family feel, and you can just socialize with your peers, people that have gone through what I'm going through right now, or kids that want to go through what I'm going through. Like I
Mm,
just think enjoying the Michigan State culture of people is nice at tailgates. And obviously like the sport, the football, the one thing for everyone to look forward to or to root for is needed. Like that's like the reason for a tailgate, I guess.
mhm.
But I think it's the people that make the tailgate.
Okay. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
good. Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, you see all kinds of people, like older, younger, families. I mean, I feel like it's a way of like, I don't know, just bringing people together and like families in general to
Yeah.
just hang out and celebrate something they love, you know?
And it's different cultures, different ages, different social classes, different genders, different anything. Like,
Mm,
and it just brings everyone together and kind of makes it a melting pot.
yeah. Yeah, no, it does. Have you ever been to a tailgate outside of MSU?
Yeah, yeah. I went to one at Ferris State, like so still in Michigan, but different state, or I mean different college, smaller size of everything. And it probably like it definitely had the same like energy and feel of people supporting like the Ferris State Bulldogs. And I mean maybe I couldn't relate to that as much just because I'm a Michigan State fan through and through.